Hello and welcome to A-Level Math. This is the second video in the series Linear Inequations. In the first video, we had discussed linear inequations involving one variable, mostly x. In this video, we will discuss about linear inequations that will involve two variables and they will still be linear. That means the highest power of x and y can be at most 1. So that is why they are called linear inequations in two variables. They are linear, that means they have highest powers of 1. They are inequations because they are not equalities, and they are in two variables, that means they have x and y involved in them. We will look at some examples of course, but for now make sure that if you haven't seen the previous video, then please click on the I button above. Now without wasting any much time, let's take some question. Solve 2x minus 3y greater than 6 graphically. So there can be no solution, particular answer to this. So what we can actually find out is the range of values of x and y for which this inequality holds. That means we have to find out somehow all those set or the entire set of all those x and y graphically that will satisfy this inequation. So how to deal with it? The first thing that you have to do is make up this box. Okay, so what is this? 2x minus 3y, and for the time being you replace this inequality with equality. Just for the sake of our understanding we do that, and there is no logic behind it. The reason as to why we do it is to find out the line on this Cartesian plane that corresponds to this 2x minus 3y equal to 6. So how to find out the line? So what you do, you make x as the subject. 2x is equal to 6 plus 3y. X is equal to 6 plus 3y divided by 2, and then we make the box. Remember I was talking about some box. So what you do, you make up a box with values of x and y that satisfy this equation. So you write down x here and y here. Now tell me some values of x and y that satisfy this equation. At least 3 such pairs. Okay, so what if I choose y is equal to 2? If I choose y is equal to 2, what I get is 6 plus 6 by 2. So I get x is equal to 6 plus 6 by 2, which is equal to 6. So if I choose y is equal to 2, I get x is equal to 6. Similarly, we have to try out for other values of y. So let's try it out with minus 2. So if we take y is equal to minus 2, you can take any value of y. That's totally your discretion. I'm just choosing 2 minus 2 for the sake of convenience, but you can take it as per your choice, and there is no restriction. For any value of y, you will be getting some corresponding value of x, and then just put down those two values. That is totally your choice. So if you put y is equal to minus 2, then what do you get? 6 minus 6 by 2. You get x is equal to 6 minus 6 by 2, which is 0. So if you take y is equal to minus 2, you get x is equal to 0. And just one more final point and we are done. So there can be actually infinitely many such pairs, but I am just choosing 3. That is just sufficient. Now let's take y is equal to say 4. Then what do we get? X is equal to 6 plus 12 by 2, which is 18 by 2, which is 9. So if you take y is equal to 4, you get x is equal to 9. So the 3 points that we are getting on this line are 6, 2, 0, minus 2, and 9, 4. So these are the 3 points on the line. Your points could differ. You can get any 3 points. They will differ, no problem. What do? You now plot these points on the graph. So it is 6, 2, 6 is somewhere here and 2 is somewhere over here. So this is our 6, 2. Where is 0, minus 2? 0, minus 2 is somewhere over here. And then 9, 4 will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 will be somewhere over here. Sorry for the inconvenience, but my point is going outside the graph. So what you do, you join these points and you will be getting a straight line. Okay, so all these things we have done just to obtain this straight line. All the things that we have done so far are to just get this straight line. Now what you do, you again go back to your inequality and you take a point to the left hand side of the line. So say for example I choose this origin. Most of the times I choose the origin. So you take any point either to the left or right, that's again your choice. So let me take a point to the left of the straight line and I choose this point to be the origin. Now the origin is 0, 0, right? We know this. Now tell me whether 0, 0 is satisfying this inequality or not. So if you put x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0, you get 0 greater than 6, which does not satisfy this inequality. That means not just 0, 0, but if you take any point to the left of this straight line, it will not satisfy. It is not going to satisfy this inequality. And you can try it out yourself. You can take any point on this left hand side of the line and no point is going to satisfy this inequality. And actually if you take any point to the right hand side, it will satisfy the inequality. So what we do, we shade this portion. So this entire portion is our solution, which means that you take any point from this portion, the shaded region, it will be a solution to this inequality. And that is what it means when we are asked to find out the solution of an inequation graphically. So you have to just give the shaded portion, which will actually, any point from that portion will satisfy that inequality. Let's take up some more questions to get the idea even clearer. Now this is an easier one. You are given the inequality as x less than -3. So what you do for the time being, you make this as equality and then we have to make up the box and then get our straight line. The entire purpose of this box is to somehow get that straight line on the graph. So now it says that x is equal to -3. So for making the box, there is no choice for you to change this x, so it will be -3 everywhere, and y you can take as your choice. I mean, whatever value you want to take for y, you can take. This is particularly for these types of question where you are just given equations like x equal to -3 or x is equal to 3 or x equal to 5, or even something like y is equal to -3, y is equal to 5. So in those cases you just put on the values of y, and x you can choose anything as per your likes. So I have put x is equal to -3 everywhere, and y I am going to choose as I like. So I'll choose y is equal to 2, -2 and 0. These are the values that I choose. You can take any value of your choice. Now what you do, you plot these values on the graph. So -3, 2, -3, 2 lies over here, -3, -2 lies over here, and -3, 0 lies over here. So this is our required straight line. Half part of the work is done. Now what we have to do, we have to take a point, and generally I told you I generally choose origin. So this origin lies to the right of the line. Now check whether this 0, 0 satisfies this inequality. So you put 0 in place of x and 0 in place of y. So 0, and there is no y, so not to worry about it. So 0 less than -3. We don't have y, so we don't put 0 in place of y. It's as simple as that. And this is again not satisfying this inequality. That means not only just this origin, but no point to the right hand side of this line will satisfy this inequality. So our solution is to the left of this line, and this is our answer. Okay. Now until now we had discussed just graphs of one inequation, but you can have multiple inequations at the same time, and you just keep on making those graphs, and the intersection of the shaded portion will be your answer. Okay, let's do it. So 2x plus y greater than or equal to 2. So the first step is to make this as an equality. 2x plus y is equal to 2, and then make x or y, that's again your choice, as the subject, and then make up the box. Now you choose some values of x and y that satisfy this. So x and y, here you have to choose values of x. So if I choose x is equal to 1, I get y is equal to 2 minus 2, 0. So one point is 1, 0. Now if I choose x is equal to say -1, then I get y is equal to 2 plus 2, which is 4. So another point is -1, 4. And if I choose x is equal to say 0, then I get y is equal to 2. So another point is 0 comma 2. You can take one more point if you want, but 3 is the maximum number of points that we need actually to make up a straight line. So what you do, now you draw the graph, draw the line, the straight line, 1 comma 0. So 1 comma 0 is here, minus 1 comma 4 is here, and 0 comma 2 is here. So this is our straight line, and now we have to see which part of the line satisfies this. So you take the origin, so now put down 0 comma 0 in this inequality. So 0 plus 2 into 0, 0 plus 0 greater than or equal to 2. It doesn't satisfy, so the required portion is to the right of this straight line. Now let's take the second inequality, x minus y less than or equal to 1. So the first task is to write it down in the form of an equation and then make one of the variable as the subject. So we get x is equal to 1 plus y. Now again the box x, y. If you take y is equal to 1, you get x is equal to 2. If you take y is equal to 2, you get x is equal to 3. If you take y is equal to minus 1, you get x is equal to 0. So let's draw the straight line. 2 comma 1 is here. Let me choose some other color so that it becomes easier for you to understand. So 2 comma 1 is the first point, 3 comma 2 is the second point, and 0 comma minus 1 it's here. 0 comma minus 1 is the third point. So this is our line, and let's take again the origin. So origin lies to the left of the line, and is it satisfying this equation in equation? So 0 minus 0 is equal to 0, less than or equal to 1. Yes, it is satisfying because 0 is less than or equal to 1. So that means the required portion lies to the left of the line. So remember, whatever region satisfies, you shade that. Okay, so far the common portion is this part in between. Now let's see what we get from the third inequality. So we are getting x plus 2y less than or equal to 8. So we write down the corresponding equation. X plus 2y is equal to 8. X is equal to 8 minus 2y. We make up the box. X and y. If you put y is equal to 1, you get x is equal to 6. If you put y is equal to 2, you get x is equal to 4. If you put y is equal to 3, you get x is equal to 2. So now again let's draw the equation. So let's change the color. 6 comma 1 is the first point. 6 comma 1 is the first point. 4 comma 2 is the second point. 2 comma 3 is the third point. So this is our straight line. This is our straight line. Okay, and now let's check which portion satisfies the inequality. So you again take 0 comma 0. So 0 plus 0, which is 0, less than or equal to 8. So it is satisfying. That means the left hand side portion of this line satisfy the inequality. And x greater than or equal to 0 and y greater than or equal to 0 is of course the first quadrant, because in only the first quadrant we get x and y both positive. So our common portion is this one. Let me draw it for you in green. So this portion that you see, so this portion in the green is the common portion from all those inequalities, and this is our required solution. So if you take any point from this shaded portion, it satisfies all the given inequalities, and that's why it is our answer. Okay, now let's take up a word problem. So up till now we were already given some inequations, and now we will have to first form the inequations and then go on to solve them. Okay, so let's see how to form an inequation. A small manufacturing firm produces two types of gadgets, A and B, which are first processed in the foundry and then sent to another machine for finishing. So there is a firm that manufactures gadget A and gadget B and then sent to another machine. The number of man hours of labor required in each shop for the production of unit A and B and the number of man hours for the firm available per week are as follows. So it says that the number of man hours required for one unit of gadget A in the foundry is 10 man hours, and for the machine shop it is 5 man hours, and for the type B gadget the man hours required are 6 and 4 respectively. So if you assume that we are having X units of gadget A, let X units of gadget A are manufactured, and assume that Y units of gadget B are manufactured. Now it says that for one unit of gadget A, 10 man hours are required at foundry. So for X units, 10x man hours are required in the foundry, and similarly one unit of gadget B requires 6 man hours. So Y units of gadget B will require 6y man hours in the foundry. So the total man hours required are 10x plus 6y man hours for both the types of gadgets. But it says that 1000 man hours are the maximum that you can have. That means the foundry can only provide up to 1000 man hours. That is what they are saying. The number of man hours for the firm as well as the foundry available per week are as follows. Okay, so that means we have 10x plus 6y, this is the total man hours, and this can be at max 1000. So there is an upper limit of 1000, that means it has to be less than or equal to 1000. And similarly for the machine shop, we'll be having 5x plus 4y less than or equal to 600, because for one unit gadget A, 5 man hours are required. That means for X units, 5x will be required, and for 4 units of type B gadget, we have 4y units of machine shop. So the total man hours required are 5x plus 4y, which can be less than or equal to 600 because we don't have any more availability. The maximum that is available to us is 600. Now we have got two inequations and we can solve them as we did previously. I leave it to you as an exercise, and that's it for this video. So thanks a lot. You can try it on your own. Study hard, study smart with A-level maths. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.